What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crown Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we are breaking down
and literally just watched
The Usual Suspects. This is a funny one, to be honest.
This is this one is I think just like a really popular 90s film.
Mm-hmm.
I got to come clean. I hadn't seen it ever until we just now watched it.
Yep.
Which I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I just missed this one. Because in a way, I have seen this film.
Mm-hmm. It's so popular that, again, people talk about it and parody it.
But I just had no idea. Really, the number one that I'm thinking of, there's a Key and Peele sketch that I've seen quite a few times, and I had no idea it came from this movie.
Actually, I think on the skit it says in parentheses, Usual Suspects parody.
Does it?
I think so.
I mean, I'm sure they had to give some type of credit because it's literally just a ripoff of the twist of this movie. So whenever I saw the twist,
yeah,
because that's what that's
World's
one of those,
Greatest Liar, The Usual Suspects
parody. But again, I just never even thought to watch this movie, so like that meant nothing to me.
Right.
I just thought it was like a funny sketch. That was it. And so the thing is, when you go into a movie like this, like people just I tell people, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what me and Kate are about to watch. Like, do an episode on this, and they're like, oh shit, like, have you ever seen it? No, bro. The twist. I'm just like, you can't do that.
Yes.
You can't tell me that there's a twist coming.
Then you automatically are like, that's the guy.
Yeah. So like, I'm just like digging. I'm like, who is it? And gotta be honest, I did call it. Not for any like factual reasons other than just like, well, it's a 90s movie. Kevin Spacey's a pretty big actor. And he's just the least likely one to be what, Keyser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keyser
Söze?
Keyser. Hold on. Keyser Söze.
Keyser Söze. He's the one that's least likely to be Keyser Söze. Keyser Söze? Keyser Söze. Anyways, so when I saw that Kevin Spacey's character, Verbal, is...
nice. Got the character name right. Look at you. One for one.
He's, first off, not doing anything to help destroy the boat with all the cocaine on it.
Well, how are you gonna ask a cripple to start wheeling a gun around the boat?
Exactly. That's what I'm also confused. I was like, how did he get here?
Right.
Why? How is he useful at all?
Yeah. Besides the brains, like they're saying he was making plans.
Sure.
But the movie's funny because everything you saw could have not happened.
Could not have happened.
Everything is what he's saying to the police officer. So the entire movie is not true.
Yeah.
The whole story, everything that you're watching, at the end you realize, wait a second, none of that shit happened.
Yeah.
Outside of the police interrogation and then like the hospital scene. Those are both real. But everything else is just what Verbal is telling the detective. So everything you witness with the crime, all the setups, everything, not real.
The setup, I mean, there's some stuff that has to be real. Because like
maybe.
You said, yeah, I mean, like there's an injured Hungarian in the hospital that's burnt. Yeah. So that means like the boat was burned.
He probably did kill Keaton.
Right. Like that, yeah, they have like a body, so I mean, I don't think it's all totally plagiarized, but yeah, the fact that he's like grabbing names from coffee mugs and just posters on the background. Again, it was just funny that everybody told me that there's some twist in this film.
Yeah.
And I did not realize it was going to be like the twist of all twists.
Mm-hmm. The way they build up that twist is pretty genius. How at the end of the movie, when it's wrapping up, the police gives this entire elaborate spiel about how Keaton is actually the Keyser, and they edit it to where you get close-ups of him like looking like he's thinking and planning. So as an audience member, not knowing there's a twist, watching it for the first time, you're like, oh, fuck, it was that guy the whole time, the main character. Of course it was him. That's also unsuspecting.
And that would, honestly, it would have made, that would have made sense. Because, like, he's got the background as a police officer. He's got the lawyer as his girlfriend, who everybody's just like, dude, you're totally just scamming her.
The detective at one point mentions that Keaton one time faked his death with I think he said something about like a jury witnessed him go into his own warehouse that blew up and burned.
Yeah, and then two people died.
Yeah.
The two witnesses.
Right.
Yeah.
Dean Keaton was dead. Did you know that? During an investigation into the murder of a witness, 2 people saw Dean Keaton walk into a warehouse he owned just before it blew up. Within 3 months of the explosion, the 2 witnesses, they were dead.
So he faked his death before. So that's in your head as an audience member, like, okay, shit, maybe he is fucking.
Plus, he's constantly saying, he's like, I want no part of this. I don't want anything to do with y'all.
Yeah.
And then he's pretty much leading it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he becomes a leader of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff like that. To where it is a guessing game. It's a good movie. Because, I mean, I say that I knew it was verbal, but like I didn't really.
You had no proof to prove it. You just assumed it's probably going to be him.
Right.
Yeah.
So, which for me, I was like, damn it. Like, if nobody had told me there was a twist, I wouldn't have predicted this. And then I wouldn't have got my hopes up. Then I wouldn't have been kind of disappointed that I was correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you take all that away, still a good movie.
So at the time, Kevin Spacey wasn't a big name. This is like one of his first few movies. He wasn't a huge star at this point.
When did this come out?
95? Yeah.
He wasn't big yet.
Let's see. Kevin Spacey movies.
Because then he does 7. I don't know if it's right after this.
That was all in the 90s.
Well, this is...
Why is it not giving me the...
Well, if you look up Kevin Spacey right now, I think you're getting...
a little something else.
I think you're getting more than just movies.
Okay, let's zoom in a bit here. So I guess is this in order of time? Okay, so he started making movies in 86. He made a few in the 80s. And then, again, no really big ones here. There's all pretty small movies. At least I don't know about them. So they're not huge to this day, relevant. And then Usual Suspects. So like, this is his first kind of bigger movie, I guess. Even though it's a big movie now, I think back then it was a shoestring budget. It was like an independent film, basically.
I mean, because it won 2 Academy Awards.
Yeah.
I know it won.
Kevin Spacey got the supporting actor Oscar.
No shit. Nice. Okay. So
actually, in his acceptance speech, he goes, I don't know who Keyser... He says... Let's just pull it up. Fuck it.
We probably didn't want to spoil the movie.
Well, he kind of did. Not really, actually.
Well, whoever Keyser Söze is, I can tell you he's going to get gloriously drunk tonight.
There you go.
That is a spoiler. What the hell?
Well, you better watch the movie if you're in that room.
Yeah, what the hell? I would have been pissed.
I haven't seen it yet. What the fuck?
I think that's like, honestly, I think that's what a lot of people do. They watch the Academy Awards, they see what won, and all that.
Maybe.
And then
some people for sure.
I would think a lot of people like, oh fuck, like this won that, so now I'm gonna go watch it.
Now I didn't live at this time, so I'm just speculating here. But I would assume back then the Oscars was like they actually awarded the movies to the best movies. Like nowadays, it's not so much. Dune 2 gets snubbed for so many things. You're like, how? How? So back then, I'm sure if they're picking the most popular movies that were the most loved by just general audiences, most people have probably seen it for it to win an award.
Well, I thought the Academy Award, I thought it was all voted on by like peers.
Yeah, it is. It's the Academy votes on it.
Yeah, so
that's how it's always been, but still,
which
is kind of dumb. It should really be the fans, the audience, the people that actually buy the tickets. How about they give the awards? Maybe have the peers for the artistry that some people don't pick up on. You can have them as like a weight, but the audience is also a bigger weighted score. So that way, movies like Dune 2 get some fucking awards.
Yeah,
I mean, it does get awards, but like it should be like a sweep.
Should definitely include like just the general audience. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, I also, the people,
What do you mean?
It's all good. All good. We don't need to totally rely on the people. But they could ask us.
Yeah, why
we
not?
should be including the
We need
Academy.
to get a little vote. We should Crown Cinema vote.
There should be a Crown Cinema vote.
Yeah. Let the audience join us.
Yeah. But The Usual Suspects. Okay. So have you seen this before?
I remember I watched it one time, wasn't really in the mood for a movie, and it's super confusing, which is funny again, because the movie is really confusing to watch.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to follow what's happening. Like, if you pay really close attention, you're even still sometimes kind of like, wait, what are they doing? What are they going after? They're going after cocaine, money?
I cannot
what are they
believe
robbing?
I just came into this movie and I was like, you know what? I know that I've seen a lot of people request this.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a trailer for it, like I think a couple months ago.
Nice.
But today, coming here, I didn't look up one thing about this movie. I had no idea what the plot was going to be. I didn't know who was in the movie, except for Benicio Del Toro. He was the only person who I knew was in this movie. I didn't even know Kevin Spacey was in this thing. I didn't know it had won.
You knew literally nothing.
I didn't know it had won 2 Academy Awards. I knew there was a twist because, people are dicks. But other than that, nada.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a mind fuck.
So it's so confusing, but in retrospect, after finishing the movie, you're like, it is confusing because some guy's just making up the fucking
Yes.
story the whole time.
Yeah, so that did make me feel a lot better.
Like Redfoot, that character, he's not a real person. So everything you witness just isn't real. None of it took place. Some things do, obviously, but it's really hard to prove what actually did take place because again, it's just verbal explaining it all.
Yeah. It's just funny how they bring you into the story that happens according to Verbal, and it's just like his interpretation of it, but then it brings you out to Verbal actually talking and just how he talks, and he's just always saying random shit. You know, at one point, I remember he tells the officer he needs a coffee because he gets dehydrated, and then he just starts going on the spiel about when he was a kid, he was just pissing out goo.
Yeah, snot.
And so, for me, not knowing what is happening already, I'm brought back into this office with this guy who has immunity, and I'm trying to figure out why this guy has so much power. And he starts talking about pissing out goo. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute.
What is going on?
What is happening? What am I watching? What's the point of any of this? So, but again, it's done on purpose. And so at the end, when the big reveal is when it shows up, I'm like, you know what? That's me getting angry about the piss story, the dehydrated child story. That was the appropriate reaction to have. Yeah.
But Robert Ebert, by the way, last episode I call him Robert Eggers, who's the director that makes the scary movies. My bad. Misspoke there. Robert Ebert the reviewer, okay? He gave this movie a 1-star, said it was trash. He didn't like it at all.
When it came out?
Yeah. Not a big fan, but he's not a big fan of it, I think, because of the movie. They accomplished the goal of what the movie is. Again, it's one of those movies that they stick to the theme so much where the movie is like an attempt at something, and the attempt is to con the audience. Because again, the whole movie's confusing. The real trick and the real con that Kevin Spacey's character Verbal gives is tricking the audience in the whole time, having them watch a full story that's just psych.
Yeah.
So you, as an audience member, you get conned because you're like, oh damn, none of that was fucking real. What the hell?
Yeah.
So that's the real con. So it feels like there's no substance in the movie because again, it's all a fake story.
Yeah.
But that's the point of the story. They did that idea very well because it obviously tricked everybody. I mean,
I know, I get that. The only thing that I am just a little confused about is Verbal, aka Keyser.
Yep.
Is he wanting to I thought the whole point was that he was trying to keep his identity a secret. But now the police know that Verbal is Keyser. They've put a face in.
Sure.
They got it. So I'm
there's no proof though.
I guess. Oh, so the officer, because I guess he's got immunity.
Well, and then Verbal also says when he's telling the story about Keyser, he tells the detective, who's a customs agent, by the way, he tells him, if I had to guess, you would never see or hear of Keyser ever again. So he's doing this as maybe his last ditch effort or something. Because the whole premise of the plot that Keyser's, Verbal's going through is that he has to kill the one guy who knows his face and knows for a fact that it's Keyser.
Yeah.
Again, is that real or not? Don't know, but that's what the movie is, right? So he has to kill this guy in order to wipe his slate clean and make sure nobody knows who he is, and then maybe he just disappears out and becomes this reclusive con man. Okay. There's also an argument that maybe the whole Keyser story, all that's fake too. There is no real Keyser. All that stuff is he just put that in this cop's head, and then whoever he was around, he was telling him about Keyser and orchestrated it all so that way he can get out on top and protect himself for whatever reason he's doing it. So again, it is kind of annoying when you're okay, well, none of it was real. It's hard to break it down where you're what the fuck? There's not really any deep ties to it. It's all just one long con. The movie's one long con.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying the episode so far, drop a like, subscribe. We have these new breakdowns every single week. Let's get back to the episode.
I love that. I love that it's pretty much just a big FU. They're just flipping the bird to anybody that's watching. And I feel the best scene, which so I found out the lineup scene is pretty iconic, which even I had seen the lineup scene, which is why I think I was so confused about this film going into it, is because I've seen the lineup scene.
It's pretty iconic. I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine did a spoof on it, or like a parody of it.
Probably.
When they're like they're all singing a song, and they ended up just like singing together.
Okay. That does sound familiar.
It's a pretty popular clip that just goes, viral on Twitter or whatever.
But so I'd seen that scene. Like I'd see just, it's like as if you're a movie guy,
you just
see random scenes. Yeah. And this was like a pretty, I guess, iconic one.
Yep.
So so I've seen it and it's like a funny scene. Like everybody's laughing. I remember like reading the comments and then I did look it up like after we watched the movie. It's like that little 10 minutes. I remember when I saw this scene, I was like reading the comments, like they're actually all laughing.
Yes.
And I guess it was supposed to be like this
serious
scene.
Yep.
But no, I think that was like a good way of doing it if the whole movie is pretty much like telling everybody like, fuck you.
Yeah. I heard that story too. And the director, again, he wanted it to be a serious scene. It's supposed to be a serious moment. But all day on set, none of the guys could stop from laughing. They kept just cutting up the whole time.
Just for no reason?
Yeah. Like, it's a funny line. I mean, in reality, like just think about being on set, reading something funny.
Give me the fucking keys, you fucking cocksucker motherfucker.
Knock it off. Get back.
They all just couldn't keep it together.
Yeah.
And so what they ended up doing is just using all the funniest takes to then put it in the movie. Because they had no serious tones. It was just, none of it worked. So they just decided to find the funniest takes of it all. And then you actually hear the director, who was getting pissed off during filming, because he's like, keep it. He's like so pissed off that these guys aren't keeping it together. He's like, it's supposed to be serious. So he's getting furious at the actors on set. And so you actually hear him in the scene. They added his voice in where he says, when Benicio Del Toro goes, when he says his line, you can't really understand what he says.
Which is like hilarious.
Bryan Singer, the director, he's the one that goes, in English, please.
Oh,
so that was the director saying that to him.
That's good. That's not, because it's not even acting. Because it was like, fuck, why is everybody so mad at Benicio Del Toro? Like, he's got an accent, whatever.
So when we talk about this a little bit on Sicario, how Benicio Del Toro, he's such a great actor because he knows what the movie needs from him and his character. So like, if you want to go back and watch the Sicario episode, if you haven't heard it, we talk about how Benicio Del Toro, he had so many more lines in the original script that Taylor Sheridan wrote, but he thought it'd be scarier and better for the movie if he didn't talk that much. So he just told them to reduce his lines a lot.
I think he cut like 80% of his lines.
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve agreed, so they did that. So he knows what he needs from his character. So even at a young age in this movie, early on in his career, he realized his character was just a throwaway character. Like there's really no point he has to the story. He doesn't add anything. He knows he's just a character that's going to die later as an example for the rest of the characters. So he said, what I say doesn't really matter. So I want to put on a funny accent where you can't even understand what I'm saying.
And then it goes hand in hand with the fact that like Verbal is just telling this made up story. So like, Benicio Del Toro's character just having this random accent, whatever, like it just, you can get away with that because he's not a meaningful character.
Yeah,
there's literally no theme or meaning to him at all.
So that wasn't a pre-planned thing. Benicio just came up on the first day of set and had this idea coming up.
Honestly, I kind of figured that just watching this movie. I was like, this is just Benicio Del Toro, like just
having fun.
It's just like, I'm a throwaway character. Just let me fuck around here.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that scene is when I was like, okay, he's not going to be some big time character.
And he is a throwaway character, but because of his performance and his funny mumbling accent that you can't understand what he's saying, he does make it funnier to where you like his character. Like he doesn't steal
miss him.
Yeah, he kind of steals the show in these scenes because he always says something funny.
Oh, that lineup scene. And then knowing that like it was a bunch of outtakes. Because if you go back and watch that scene, which we should,
all right,
you can see well, first off, the backstory is that like Benicio Del Toro like just would not stop farting.
I did hear that one too.
But I went and watched an interview with the first guy that goes, and I recognize him. He's definitely been in a lot, but he's for sure an Entourage.
Yeah.
Anyways,
wait, Kevin Pollak.
Yeah. He like went on a talk show and was just like, like Benicio Del Toro, like just wouldn't stop farting. And it was just really funny. And then the director like got onto him at lunch, which means that they had been fucking around like from morning to lunch. And then didn't get their act together. So pretty much just a whole day. quote unquote wasting time, but
Yeah.
it ended up like working out well.
They also only had, I think the movie was made for $6 million and they shot it in 35 days.
Nice.
And then kind of similar to The Gentleman, how they shot,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
Gentleman episode that we just came out. We talked about how they filmed the entire, whatever. I'm not gonna go details. There's a scene where they filmed it all in 5 days. Like
Yeah.
it's throughout the entire movie, and they filmed that entire part in 5 days.
Mhm.
Same here. They filmed the police scene in
Nice.
5 days. It's the first scene they shot it in 5 days. Basically, like they all acted out a play on set, and then
Nice.
they just got it and wrapped that part of the movie, and
There
then
we
they
go.
went in and filled in the fakery.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, so if you go and watch the lineup scene, you see Benicio Del Toro's character like go up and everybody immediately has the giggles. It's pretty obvious that like, because it's just so random. They were like not getting along before this lineup. Like, I don't know, just it's funny for no reason. And the audience has no idea like why everybody's laughing. It's
Right.
just a random thing. And sure enough, it's because like, first off, Benicio wouldn't stop farting. Second off, like they just couldn't stop laughing. So if you watch it, the first guy like does his line right.
Yep.
And then Steve Baldwin.
Number 2, step forward.
Oh, one more.
Hand me the keys, you fucking cocksucker.
So he just reads it exactly
Yep,
how the
yep.
director wanted it.
Number 2,
And
step
then Steve
forward.
Baldwin comes up. You don't know this character, so this is just like,
Give me the fucking keys, you fucking cocksucker motherfucker!
Knock it off. Get back.
so you already see it. Look,
Number
Kevin
3,
Spacey
step
looks
forward.
down.
Yep.
So he broke.
He's covering. Look, he's laughing right
Yeah,
there.
he's laughing right there. They're all laughing. Look, and that's genuine laughter.
How many keys, you cocksucker?
In English, please.
So that's Bryan Singer right there.
Yeah.
How many fucking keys, you cocksucker? What the fuck?
Number 4, step
And look,
forward.
well, you see, yeah, the first guy, he's laughing. Go
Hand
back
me
one
the
more time.
keys, you fucking cocksucker.
Sucker, what the fuck?
First guy
Number
breaks.
4,
Yeah, yeah.
step
Guy
forward.
next to him, who he very smoothly hands the car to, and Kevin Spacey
Yeah.
all look down.
That's hilarious.
It's just that's Benicio Del Toro. I'm convinced because he
Yeah.
also. Whenever I think of Benicio, I always think of him in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how does one acquire that part? I think it's because of this subtle chaos that he just brings onto a film set. Having the balls to tell the director and the writer, like, yeah, well, I'm going to give him an accent.
Yeah. You're not gonna be able to understand. me.
Yeah. And they're like, what? And he's like, no. It's genius. You're like it.
Yeah.
And remember, my character doesn't matter. So who gives a fuck?
Whatever wild idea Benicio Del Toro gives you, just trust him. It's gonna work. No matter what it is, just trust. It'll work.
I just love it. I love it. And you know what? Paid off.
But yeah,
Paid
the
off.
scene that makes the scene better because you kind of relate to these guys as normal dudes. Because if you think about it, just you being a person, if you're a criminal, doesn't give a fuck about the cops, you're not intimidated by this, and you have to read a line that says, "Give me the keys, you fucking cocksucker," you're
You'd
gonna be
just be
laughing.
laughing,
You're
yeah.
like, "This is ridiculous."
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. So it adds a little humanity to him. So I'm glad that they broke and they couldn't do it serious because it makes the movie funnier. And
Yeah.
now we have an iconic scene where they're all laughing and it looks real because it is real.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Yeah, great scene.
Yeah.
It's kind of a funny story is that sticking on Benicio Del Toro, his character. So in Turkey, when they released the movie, Turkish audiences thought his character was gay. There's nothing in the movie that points to him being gay.
Wow.
No,
He's like a little flamboyant. I guess like just the walking around with a black suit and the red shirt on, and just like kind of his initial reaction when he's getting
Sure.
arrested. Not gay, but like silly.
Yeah, silly.
Silly.
Which is gay in Turkey. But also, sure, maybe that adds some clues for the Turkish audiences. But also, the person that dubbed Benicio's voice had a high-pitched feminine voice. So they were like, oh, this character's gay.
Okay.
And then they had a line that they mistranslated. So somewhere in the beginning of the movie, they mentioned that Finster, who is Benicio Del Toro's character,
Mm-hmm.
the actual line is, Finster always worked with McManus. He was a real tight ass. And when they translated it, the second line goes, all he ever thought about was his ass.
Okay.
So Turkish
Well,
guy's
yeah.
like, all right, well, I guess his character's gay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not that it matters, but he's gay now.
Yeah.
So
Just funny that they mistranslated
Just-
it, had
yeah.
a feminine guy do it, and they're like, oh, this guy's just a gay guy? Okay.
that is funny.
With no other writing clues. So that's just a little funny story. But
Yeah.
so obviously the twist when there's a twist, that means that there's clues in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So here's every clue I've noticed from the usual suspects that point to Verbal being Keyser. So in the beginning, when it zooms in on the ropes as Keaton's getting killed and the boat blows up, the zoom in on the ropes lets us know as an audience we need to pay attention here. Like so because we later learn that air quote Verbal was behind the ropes.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you can't see anything, there's no real holes. Nobody's peeking out, but it focuses on it, just suggests that he was never actually there behind the ropes.
Mm.
And in fact, in the scene when he walks by, Kevin Spacey walks and he stops. He walks behind the ropes, but before he gets to the ropes, there's like these tires that are there. And there's a crack in the tires. So you never see Kevin Spacey go past the tires, actually. You would probably see his body move through the little gap between the tires and like all the rope stuff, but you don't, because when they filmed it, they had Kevin Spacey just stop behind the tires so that nobody's literally ever there behind the ropes. So you can never maybe see somebody. So that then alludes to him never being there and that all being fictional.
Also, just right there, like I love the idea of like his character is quote unquote behind the ropes. In a way, it sounds like he's pulling the strings, or he's like the ventriloquist. You know, like just just something to do with rope string. Anyway, just a little probably a reach there, but just something.
Verbal mentions whenever he's inside of the little holding cell with all the other guys after this lineup scene, he mentions that he's walked before on another arrest.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a lie, but again, him suggesting that he's walked before is maybe a little hint that he's about to walk again at the end of the movie, right? Which he does.
Yeah.
What happened?
I walked 90 days, suspended.
So you did it.
This is pretty obvious when you watch it a second time, but when Verbal sits down for the first time inside of the office, you see him looking at the board. He's collecting information. Well, I'll pull it up.
It's hilarious to me to think about like a criminal mastermind who's like, I'm going to go into this office and just have fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to see what I can make up with whatever they have.
Here he is, first time in the office.
Looking around,
studying his environment.
Ooh, that makes sense then, because I remember at one point.
See that? So he looks up here and is staring at all the newspaper clippings.
Yeah, but then I think about like at one point during the film, not the guy that's doing the interrogating, but the other guy that's telling him like, oh, like we shouldn't, he's got immunity. He tells him, he was like, you can't get him in an interrogation room. He thinks everything is like bugged. Like you'll have to like do it here. I'm pretty sure is how it went.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't that he didn't want to go to an interrogation room because he was afraid it was bugged. He just wanted to be in a big office with a bunch of pictures and words and stuff.
Have him fabricate something. And then also in this scene too, whenever he asks for coffee and the guy comes back and brings the coffee.
Oh, I don't tell me. He looks at the bottom of the mug.
Looks at the bottom of the mug. Very clearly. Anyway, we couldn't find it, but we'll add it after. Whenever he sips the coffee mug, you actually see Verbal's eyes look to the coffee mug and look at the Kobayashi name underneath it. So there's a little clue there. Whenever the detective is kind of alluding to the fact that Keaton is going to be the big villain, Keyser Söze, there's a close-up shot on Kevin Spacey smiling. In the scene, without knowing what the twist is, you assume he's just amused at the fact that he's trying to pin it on Keaton when we think that he's like, it's not him. I know it's not him.
Yeah.
He's my friend, we're a team, whatever. But it really is because he knows, oh, I might be able to get away with this. Like he thinks it's actually Keaton. Another one is Verbal tricks us with his lighting a cigarette, because the only clue we have of who Keyser Söze is that we see his lighter when he lights his cigarette before he drops it down on the flames to blow up the boat whenever in the first scene with Keaton. So the only hint we ever have that he has a lighter. And so Verbal tricks us the first time that he asks for a cigarette, he can't light his lighter. Like he has trouble lighting his lighter. And then later, after they get out of the holding cell and they're on the street, whenever Keaton decides, okay, I'm going to go actually join this team, we're going to do some more crime stuff, you notice that Verbal is smoking a cigarette. It's like, okay, well, how do he light it? If he has trouble lighting lighters with his cerebral palsy, how's he able to light his cigarette? It's because he's a liar.
Yeah.
A little small clue there. Also, the way that he holds his cigarettes is a Turkish way of holding a cigarette. Most people do it between your index finger and your middle finger, but he does them with like underhanded with his thumb and his pointer finger. He smokes like this sometimes, which is a Turkish way of doing it. Keyser Söze is a Turkish mob boss, so that's a little hint that he's Turkish. He also mentions when he's talking to the customs guy in the police room, he tells him that cops will just pin things on guys. Like you try to fabricate your own story to prove what you believe. He says, if you find a dead man and you find out he has a brother, you just pin it on the brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like they find a way to pin things. And so this guy, he hates Keaton because of what Keaton's done in the past. And so he's able to just fabricate in his own story, despite all the signs that it's not Keaton. He's able to fabricate and pin it on Keaton. So, Verbal kind of alludes to the fact of what this cop's going to do when he thinks it's Keaton and lets the real Keyser Söze walk away free. A cool little nod here. It's not really like a huge hint on who the killer is or who Keyser Söze is, but the order in which the envelopes that they take out of the briefcase that what's the Keyser Söze's like right hand man? What do they call him?
Isn't that the one from the coffee mug?
Yeah, Kobayashi.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer, right? So Kobayashi, when he gives them and gifts them, air quote, the briefcase of like, here's a gift from Keyser Söze, the order in which the envelopes with their names are on them, the order is the order in which everybody dies.
Oh,
the first one on top is Finster. He gets killed. And then the last one is, what's this guy's name? Hockney is the last one they give. And then, well, actually the last one they give is Keaton's.
Right.
And then he gives the last one to Verbal. So
nice.
A little hint there. Not really a hint, but just a cool little Easter egg there. Whenever the final scene is taking place, when you actually get to see maybe for the first time what actually happened on the boat, whenever you get Kevin Spacey's perspective of him hiding out and trying to avoid the gangs shooting and all that, every shot that points back to Keaton, like when it shows Keaton getting shot from Keyser Söze, who's off in the distance, it always reverse shots back to Verbal because it's his point of view in reality.
Oh,
so like a little editing trick there where they like every time you see what's happening with Keyser Söze, it actually cuts back and reverses over to Verbal to let you know that it's actually his point of view from what's happening because he's the one that did all the crimes.
Nice.
And then the last one, it's just I didn't pick this up, but I learned this. Keyser Söze. It's it comes from I think it's a Bulgarian phrase. It's called Söze Bogmak, I guess is the actual phrase, which means to talk unnecessarily too much and cause confusion. And so
that's Verbal.
Yeah, so they obviously had his name there. So if you know Bulgarian or Turkey or whatever language it is, then you could pick up that Söze is from that phrase, and then that's a little hint there that they wrote in to have his name mean something. So those are all little hints you might catch that Verbal is a little liar.
Yeah. There was another thing that I noticed too. It doesn't have anything to do with Verbal, but like the whole original lineup is because of a truck robbery. Now it seems pretty small scale considering like everything else that's being accomplished in this.
Yeah.
But I am kind of wondering like who did it. But I think it's Todd.
Yep. Hockey.
Yeah. I think it's revealed that it was him.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Kobayashi, when he's like kind of going over like the order of when they robbed Keyser.
Yep.
It's revealed that it is Todd, which is funny because like one of the the main dude that's questioning Verbal.
Yep.
Says kind of at the beginning, he was like, if 3 guys come in for a murder and they're all suspects and they're sitting in a cell, the one that's asleep is the one that's guilty for whatever reason.
Because he's been caught. He knows he's guilty, so there's no stress. He's already been caught. Okay. The other guys are stressed out, like, how am I going to get out of this? Because I'm not guilty. What the fuck?
Well, when they come out from the lineup and then they're all just like hanging out in the cell, it's him. He's the one that's laying down. So like it was like kind of that was kind of a giveaway about Todd like being the guy that set all this off.
What that guy said is true. The guilty one usually is always sleeping. Yeah. Because that guy was the one that actually set it up, so he was the one sleeping because he was the one that was guilty.
So I did, because I like that because I noticed that he was asleep, or like he wasn't asleep, but he was laying down and like, clearly wanted to be out. So I was like, oh shit, like Todd's gonna be the one that like in the lineup shot. He actually like delivers the line kind of just the way it was supposed to be. So it was boring. So I was like, damn, like, is he about to play like a way bigger role here? Like, I thought like it was about to be sinister, but I mean, ultimately, no,
none of this matters.
As soon as he opened the van and saw all the money and was just hanging out, I was like, all right, here we go. And then he gets shot. And I was like, yep.
Well, never mind.
Yeah. I knew that was coming.
There's a cool scene too. Whenever McManus, they're facing off with Redfoot. I think after the job just happened maybe. But anyway, they're kind of confronting Redfoot. and he's getting tense with them. There's a little bit of conflict happening, and then Redfoot takes his cigarette out and flicks it at him, and it hits him in the eye. That was an accident on set.
That looked way too real.
He was supposed to flick it at his chest, but it flicks it at his eye. And when you watch the scene, I'll put it up on the screen here. When you watch it, you notice that it cuts really quickly after the fact. It's because the rest of the take wasn't usable because everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" So they have to use that. When you get him in the fucking eye, you're like, we got to use that. But that's why they cut it super quick because afterward, everybody was just worried about, "Are you okay? You got a cigarette in your eye?"
Yeah.
But that was all an accident. Like that wasn't supposed to happen. It's supposed to go to his chest.
That does make a lot of sense. Because when I saw it, like usually you see plenty of shots like that in a film where somebody like throws a cigarette and like gets in your chest and you're just like kind of wiping off, making sure that your shirt doesn't get burned. But like right in the eye, I was like, that looked real.
Yeah, that wasn't no movie magic. That was real.
That's impeccable aim.
That's why
just a lot of things were working out for them on accident with this film. That's hilarious.
Surely. That I mean, sometimes happy accidents are what make a good movie.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it works out in their favor. But I mean, every time you have something where somebody gets hurt or it's like an insane take where something happened for real, you got to use it. Because first of all, it looks real and it makes the stakes higher. And if you're disrespectful, you're like, I fucking got a cigarette in the eye and you're not going to use it in the movie.
Exactly.
So you got to find a way. Even if you got to cut sooner than you wanted to, still makes it better.
What is that actor's name? The one that threw the cigarette?
Redfoot. Yeah, he's a
good actor.
He's like he's the guy that holds the gimp in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he's also in The Mask, I think. The Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah.
Look, we can't even find this fucking guy.
Because he wasn't real. What the hell? Redfoot. Bruh.
Right? But he's one of those guys where like everybody recognizes him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had a decent career.
Peter Green.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's in The Mask. He's like the villain.
Nope.
Yeah, he's
in The Mask.
Yeah.
In Pulp Fiction. Yeah. I knew him from somewhere and I had like a weird vibe from him because of seeing him in Pulp Fiction, like recognizing him from that. How he's this rapist guy, making love to Marcellus Wallace.
Tough to, he just not have like the craziest career.
No, he was in A Porn Star Was Born. You haven't seen that? Yeah, The Mask,
I missed out on that
Pulp
one.
Fiction.
He was doing good during the 90s.
Some smaller action movies.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's Hollywood.
Yeah, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you just miss out. I didn't even realize that Gustavo Fring was in this movie.
Yeah, no.
Until like he's in the hospital and I see him clearly talking to people, but then I didn't realize it was him until there was like the translating scene with the Hungarian and he's like, Keyser. I was like, holy shit, that's Gustavo Fring.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the only thing I took away from that scene.
I hate now that his career, he just gets typecast as Gus Fring in every single role he's in nowadays.
I think there's also that why I didn't recognize him.
Yeah,
I'm so used to him playing like this like calculated, cold-blooded killer.
Yeah.
No mercy. Which that's it. Like it was so cool when he did it in Breaking Bad.
And it was so iconic. It was
so
a
iconic,
huge character. Everybody loved him. He was a major part of the story.
Yeah.
It was a unique, iconic character.
Yeah. Then Better Call Saul. It's like, oh, he's back. All right, that's cool. Yeah. Then The Mandalorian. It's like, yeah, okay, he's doing it again. Yeah, but now it's Star Wars and he's got a black lightsaber.
Yep. Then The Boys.
It was like, oh, Homelander fears him. Oh, that's so fucking kick-ass.
Yep.
Now, sadly,
he's in The Gentleman TV show. Same character in the drug world.
He has overdone it.
It's Hollywood.
I know,
but he does it so well, but it's just like there's nothing new to the performances. Like it's just they're just saying, so how do you want me to play this?
No,
just be Gus.
You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
You live long enough to see yourself be Gus Fring for the rest of your life.
And I'm sure he's like not happy with it either now. So like he also gets to say yes to these roles.
Right.
They're throwing him so much
right.
fucking
Yeah, he got
money.
a little paycheck too.
Oh, dude. Star Wars was like, now you're going to do what you did, but you're going to make way more money.
Well, I think he does like it because I've seen him before in just public and people ask him to like say something menacing to me, he'll just like, he's just such a sweet theater guy.
Right.
You know, he's just like some nice, you know, he's an actor. Like he's just a very sweet man. But then you see him just turn on the Gus eyes and he like will tell somebody something like they're filming him. They're like, oh my God. And he like laughs about it, whatever. So I think he does like it. Like if you're a sweet guy, it's probably fun to be good at playing this menacing guy. Cause in your life, you're never that guy. So you know, you pull it from the deep, dark parts of yourself to become evil.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, you know, so that was pretty cool just seeing him in this film randomly.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, of course he had to be in something in the 90s. You don't just randomly show up on a show like Breaking Bad and get that kind of a role unless you've proven that you can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
Yeah. Or maybe his audition was just insane. Or like, holy shit, you have to be Gus.
Yeah.
So kind of another funny story. All the characters, the 5 guys in the crew, when they were shooting it, the director and the writer, and by the way, the writer is Christopher McQuarrie, the dude that does his go on to make all the new Mission Impossible movies, like Fallout, you know, all the good ones basically, besides the last two. Yeah. Should have ended at Fallout. Watch our full marathon on YouTube. But so he's the writer. But anyway, so while they were shooting it, they told all the characters that they were Keyser Söze. Like they all believed they were.
No, even like,
in fact,
not even all of them. Like Benicio Del Toro thought he might be Keyser.
Maybe not him, but the major players.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe not him. I mean, if he's Keyser Söze, he put on a crazy accent for him. But in fact, the actor that plays Keaton, his name is Gabriel Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was Keyser Söze until the premiere. They were interviewing after, and he's like, well, honestly, I thought I was Keyser Söze until I just watched it. Yeah. And I've heard, I think maybe Kevin Spacey said that he was actually kind of pissed off that he wasn't Keyser Söze. He was sold on the fact that he was Keyser Söze, and then watched the movie. He's like, wait, I'm not the fucking bad guy?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah. So he was mad that he didn't have like the big reveal at the end. So
that's funny. I mean, I think that's a good way of doing it. Even because this movie was like small time going into it, right? You said $6 million budget.
Yep.
Like nobody's like.
Everybody worked for less than they normally get paid because they didn't have that much money.
Okay. So it's funny, like still pulling a prank like that when it is not as high stakes as like a Marvel movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And like the whole world is on the edge of its seat, like trying to figure out like, oh, who's who, whatever. That's funny. Because that would mean that they had to have like done scenes with each character and had them like act out the reveal of them being Keyser.
Right. Yeah. Or they just gave Gabriel Byrne the script up until the point that it gets revealed as Keyser. Because like you give him like 80-90% of the script, you get revealed that he's Keyser. Yeah. So, you know, maybe they just gave him like not the unfinished script or whatever.
That is funny.
Yeah, he's pissed off that he wasn't Keyser. He's like, motherfucker, this is gonna be my role. This is gonna be my breakout. I was gonna be getting huge roles after this, you fuckers.
Actually, can we look him up? Because, you know, I don't want to come off as a dickhead or anything here, but I don't really recognize this guy.
He looks like other people.
He looks like Doc Ock from some angles in this film.
He's in Hereditary.
He's good. Okay, he's good for him.
He was in Ballerina.
Yeah, all right.
Ghost Ship. You ever seen that?
No.
I think I've seen only a scene of it.
Is that a pirate movie?
No, it's a ghost movie. By the title, Ghost Ship. No, but like there's a scene I think where something happens where like this wire snaps and it goes through the entire boat of like this cruise ship where everybody's on it, and like the wire just cuts everybody in half.
Nice.
So I think it's from that movie. Nice. Could be wrong. But yeah, not too big of roles, I guess. Just the usual suspects. And I mean, Hereditary is pretty huge.
Yeah, but I don't know what his role is in that. But as far as the usual suspects,
so he's number 4 on the list. So maybe he's got a pretty big role. I haven't seen it, so that's something we need to do on the pod for maybe.
We've had a lot of requests for that.
Maybe for Halloween. But
the man in the Iron Mask, that's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this one I'm kind of scared to watch Hereditary though.
Let's go.
I think it's like actually scary. It's like Smile level scary.
Yeah,
like that real fear.
Yeah, we need to watch that then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe if he had actually been Keyser, his career would have been completely different.
Yeah.
Because then you think about Kevin Spacey. I mean, granted, might want to back off a little bit, but there's no doubt that this guy can act. And he had some big roles after this film.
Now, allegedly, on set of this movie, they took like a pause in production because Kevin Spacey made a move on one of the younger people on set,
God damn it.
and apparently it was
Was it a boy?
yes,
Damn it.
and apparent not a boy, but it was apparent not like a little person, not like a kid, just younger, and apparently it was the young director's boyfriend. So
What a mess.
Oh, bro.
This movie shouldn't have done well after everything I'm hearing.
Well,
It just
well,
sounds
he wasn't.
sounds like everything was just not going according to plan,
Yeah.
according to this. And then your star actor sleeper cell, that is Kevin Spacey, is
Yeah.
also.
making moves on your boyfriend.
What do you mean younger? You say little boy, but then he's not a little boy? Or I
didn't say
said
boy.
little
Yeah, I said younger. Yeah, one of the younger men. Maybe I said younger boys, but younger men on set. 19-year-old. I'm just making that up. I don't know, but
Jesus.
yeah. You see him like Kevin Spacey like apologizing, saying like, "I'm sorry, like just put me back in movies. I'm broke. Like let's just
Jesus.
move past this." And
That really?
I feel like I've seen a video of him
Good
saying that.
God. Because I really don't even know what's going on with Kevin Spacey. Because once I started seeing that grown men were just around little boys, I was like, I'm good. I what else do I need to read?
Right. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
I got the picture.
It's also funny too. Like
I don't know the details of Kevin Spacey.
whenever.
He could be innocent for all I know.
Yeah, it's kind of funny whenever big actors like this say they're broke. I heard Tim Dillon saying, he's like, you got to understand, being broke to these people is not broke like maybe you are listening to
Yeah.
this. Like they're not making $20,000 a month. They're not making like $30,000 a month. They're maybe making like $10,000 a month. They're like, I'm broke. You know what I mean? Like they're okay. It's not like they got a little bit of money, but broke is like not living the luxurious lifestyle
Yeah,
they used
Kevin
to.
Spacey can't afford to make it to the island anymore.
Ooh, you're getting controversial.
Ooh. Like I can't afford that plane ticket. I'm
Yeah.
broke. No. Whereas I have decided I'm just going to eat ramen for the next 10 nights.
There you go.
Yeah. No, but and that's me feeling pretty good about my situation.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up, Kevin Spacey. Yeah, dude. Yeah. You ready to rate this bad boy?
Yep, let's rate it.
Yeah.
All right, what do you have for The Usual Suspects?
For The Usual Suspects, I have a 7.6 out of 10.
Nice.
Acting, I give it an 8 out of 10.
There you go.
Yeah, nothing crazy. I mean, it's a good movie. I can see like the originality of it, and I do feel bad that like because it's been parodied so much that might have had something to do with me just being a little let down.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like the craziest. But I bet like a lot of the people that have been requesting this film remember seeing it for the first time in the movie.
Yeah, not knowing there's a twist.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just totally got
Duped.
their universe shattered.
There are some really good performances by Kevin Spacey at the end when he's like crying and manipulating the whole time.
I think Kevin Spacey, yeah, I mean, he kills it in this film. Yeah. I mean, he's the 8 out of 10.
There's no like overwhelmingly amazing performances.
Right.
Like Benicio's
that's what I'm
funny,
saying, yeah.
the laughing in the opening scene's funny, but nothing like insane.
Yeah.
It's just good acting.
So the writing 8 out of 10, I mean, is an original story. Got to give credit there.
They successfully conned an audience.
Yeah, success. So yeah, I mean, I think 8 out of 10. Yeah, editing 7 out of 10. A bit all over the place. Just I don't know the pacing of it. Granted, I get it. There's like kind of an empty story for this,
right.
But as far as like keeping me into the story, just felt like it was a little long. But still, like it's solid.
It's only an hour 40.
I know, but it felt like fucking forever. Cinematography, 7 out of 10. I don't know. It's just kind of like that 90s, like just wasn't like crazy good focused on like a lot of things.
Mhm.
So I mean, nothing wild.
Okay.
And enjoyability, again, 8 out of 10. Like it's a good movie. It's a fun watch.
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies where I would enjoy watching it with somebody who hasn't seen it
And
before
doesn't know about
and
it.
doesn't know.
Yeah.
So
They'll be hating it the entire time until the end. They're like, oh my God.
yeah, like there's definitely like I think about my sister who pretty much has the attention span of a squirrel,
Nice.
like a baby squirrel. And if I were to
not
show
even
her,
not even a full grown squirrel.
yeah, if I were to show her this movie, like I just know probably every 10 minutes she'd be like, "No, seriously, I'm not fucking watching one more second of this movie. It fucking sucks. Fuck you. just going off on me. And, but then like finally when the twist happens,
She might be brought back in.
she might be brought back in. She might also be like, no, go fuck yourself. I never want to see you again. What a big waste of time. Everything didn't matter,
Just don't tell her that part. Maybe she won't pick up on the fact that none of it matters.
Yeah.
She'll just be like, oh, damn, that was crazy.
it was
twist.
him the whole time.
And then never talk to her about it again.
Right. But yeah, for most other people, I think they would enjoy like that twist. So 7.6 out of 10. Solid movie. I could see why. Again, it did so well when it first came out. That's it. Yeah. I'm really not trying to hate on this.
I give this one a 7.8 out of 10. Acting, 8 out of 10. Kind of talked about with Gray. Writing, 8 out of 10. I do think it's really what they did and set out for was really good. But then again, at the end of the day, you're kind of like, what was the point of the rest of the story? Like, what was the rest of the hour of the movie?
Yeah.
Because again, it's all fake. So like the premise of it feels like it's pointless, but that's kind of what they're going for. So I give them props
So
for
it's
that.
the execution.
But
yeah.
it's kind of like, okay, well, what we watched it was confusing. We didn't really know what was happening with the plot, really. It's a lot in your face because it is a fictional story. So again, that kind of makes it a little harder to watch just because you're not really sure. And then you find out it's not really the reason why you don't understand what's going on because you're not supposed to because it's not the point of the movie.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's still an 8 out of 10. Editing, 7 out of 10. I think it's just solid editing. Cinematography, 9 out of 10, because I do think they had some really cool shots just throughout the movie. Two that come to mind was they had one shot where the team is scoping out the ship in the beginning, and like their establishing shot to show you like kind of where they're at is it shows the ship and they put it behind like a tree just to give you the sense that they're hiding and scoping it out. Just from that frame, you kind of recognize that they're just spying on this place. And then another one is whenever Kobayashi has Keaton's wife or girlfriend or whoever, the lawyer he's dating. There's a shot where you see her in the reflection and then Kobayashi walks in front of the reflection to cast a shadow and you see Keaton staring at her. So that was like a pretty cool and creative shot. So I think they had some good cinematography here in the movie. So 9 out of 10 there. And enjoyability, 7 out of 10. I think it's solid. Like it was fun, enjoyable. Twist is cool at the end. Funny moments. But, the pointlessness of it kind of is like, sure, I'll watch it again to maybe see if I can pick up more things.
Right.
But at the end of the day,
It's
was
a bit of
pointless.
yeah.
So
pointless.
7.8 out of 10. Still a solid movie. But yeah, not like an insane cinematic feat outside of the con that they did to the entire audience.
Yeah.
But all right, you got any final thoughts on The Usual Suspects?
The whole premise of Kevin Spacey's character Verbal being like the secret mastermind who's just been playing as what is it? Cerebral
Palsy.
That's what he has. Yeah. So like, that's just so funny to me. And he's like, I've just been fooling around, just acting like I've got this crazy limp.
Mm-hmm.
My left hand like just straight up doesn't work. When in reality, I'm actually left-handed.
Ooh.
And so yeah, like I love that he was like, he just told his boy, he was like, yeah, swing by, pick me up back in the car in like a couple hours. He's like, what are you gonna say? He was like, dude, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have fun here. It's an improv exercise.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wing it. The guy was like, wow, we have a lot riding on all of this.
Yeah.
Like, why are you just gonna go wing it? You really don't want to come up with a plan? He's like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck
Bill
it, we'll do it
O'Reilly.
live.
So yeah, funny premise.
It was, I mean, it is pretty good that they had like the twist sets up well with Kevin Spacey having cerebral palsy. He like everything they give him, the lines, like the one you're saying in the beginning of this episode when he was like talking about his piss, when he gets dehydrated, it turns into snot. That makes him seem like a weak character. So he really is unsuspecting as the suspect.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was just funny because like when he started talking about that and then he started talking about some story in the barbershop, I was like, damn, can we please get Kevin Spacey off the scene, off the screen? Because clearly he's not important.
Right.
Until
the most important.
Until you start realizing like, oh, they're trying to figure out who Keyser is. Well, Kevin Spacey is the most annoying and least likely so far to be Keyser. Must be Kevin Spacey.
Oh, and I guess one point I missed was they do a lot of things in the movie to try to trick the audience of who Keyser might be, because we do see Keyser in the flashback in the beginning of the movie when he holds his pistol up sideways, and we see Hockney, the guy that set up that first thing that he was sleeping in the jail cell, that character, he always shoots it sideways. So you might be like, oh, is it him? They do little things to trick you here and there about who it could possibly be. So again, they do a really good job conning the audience into who it could possibly be, to then reveal at the very end it was Kevin Spacey all along, but couldn't fool you.
But it doesn't matter.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Comment below your thoughts on The Usual Suspects. Let us know what we missed. Let us know if you love this movie or don't like this movie. We'd love to see your rating. So do your rating out of 10 with all the 5 categories. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can leave us a review on Apple or Spotify if you are listening there. Catch y'all next week. Also, comment below movies that you want to see. We always like taking suggestions. Your recommendations actually do go on a list, believe it or not.
We tell you that films are on the list. This made the list because it kept getting requested.
Yep.
So we're listening.
Comment below what you want us to review or break down next. We will catch y'all next time. We are out.
Trying to buy my next meal. Seems all I do is drive. And when the boss man sends my next check in the mail, I'll have enough for closing time. And I've been cussing like a sailor since I ran out of weed. My tank is running dry, so I'll head on down to the railroad track and tell that man I need a ride. He says you're just in luck, 'cause there's one more seat. There's just one more thing before you proceed. Just throw me a 5 and we'll call it a deal.